is a 2007 Scion TC. Now, these cars are very interesting automobiles because they are made by Toyota, but they kind of remind me of a Hyundai. And also, it's a hidden hatchback. So today, I'm going to show you around this beautiful condition Scion TC. I'm going to show you all the quirks and features, and then we're going to take it for a drive. So let's do that. So first thing we're going to do is all of my tests. First thing we're going to do is the door test. And where's the door? Let's go to the door to do the door test. Okay, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do the door test on this one, but because the doors are on the ground, but the handles seem to work. Door test complete. This side's door is under there, so I'm not going to bother, but it did open when it was on. Now we're going to open the rear hatch, which is over there. This just opens very well. You can store a lot of stuff in this car, and it's a good hatchback. My head probably wasn't in the frame there. Now, when I see these things on the road, I do not know that these things are actually hatchbacks. I think they're conventional coupes. But apparently, when I pulled the hatch off, it is a hatchback. That's very interesting. Now let's talk about the Scion badge, which basically looks like a Toyota badge, but with some changes. It does look like a Toyota badge, though. It's kind of neat. Now we will move under the hood of the Scion TC, where we find this amazing inline 4-cylinder engine. It's a transversely mounted engine, and that means the car is front-wheel drive. The transmission is out of frame, on the other hand, but the engine is very nice. As you can see, if you look in here, let me show you, get the camera. If you look in here, you can see all the valves and everything. And this is a Toyota VVTi, variable valve timing, it's hard to say. And the clutch is over here. Now moving inside the Scion TC, if I can move this airbag out of the way. Oh, the airbag. These went off on video, so I will link that video down below in case you want to watch that. Anyway, let's move this airbag out of the way, where we find a Scion steering wheel with no airbag in it, and a 6-speed manual transmission, which I will show you right here. This is a very nice 6-speed manual transmission. Very, very nice looking. Beautiful transmission. And if you were wondering what the transmission looks like, well, it's over here. Right there. There's your transmission. Now, I want to talk about this car's wheels. These wheels are actually very nice. I love the spokes on them. However, what's not nice about these wheels are the lug nuts, because they are anti-theft 6-sprocket lug nuts, I believe they're called, and they're very, very terrible because you can't get into them with your normal 6-pointed ratchet. You have to get a Toyota-specific part to get at these, or at least a rip-off of one to get it at the lug nuts. Whereas in my car or any other car here, you take the lug nuts off very easily with a normal 6-pointed socket. So that's kind of dumb. Now what I want to talk about is this car's gauge cluster. Here it is. Let me zoom out on the camera. So here's the gauge cluster. It is it's a computer. It doesn't have any moving parts. It doesn't have any lines that go into it for the speedometer and odometer. It's all electronic, and it's a very good looking gauge cluster. I gotta say that. It's very good looking. Now let's talk about this car's taillights. Here's one of them. This was the only one on the car when I found the car. It's basically a very attractive depot taillight. Very nice. There's the back. Most reviews never show you the back of the taillight, which is very good. This is the only review. I guarantee this is the only review of one of these cars on YouTube that will show you the back of the taillight. Well, there it is. Back of the taillight. Okay, now we have this panel in the dashboard. Let me get a close-up of it really quick. We have this panel, that was not held in well. We have this panel in the dashboard, which has the mirrors, this thing, and then this Scion security thing. Don't know what that is, but that looks really cool. Look at that. Scion, oh, it's not focusing in. Scion security, and then we have 3 blank switches, which are actually blank, so you can pop one out and put in what you want to. It's great for aftermarket. Now let's talk about the car's brakes. Now the Scion TC 2007, as I know of, I believe they all years have this, but they are discs all round. Yes, discs all round on a Scion TC. Now what's really cool about these Toyota products is that they have the VIN etched into the body over here, on the body. They also have it under here, under there, and they got the VIN everywhere. I think even on the engine, it has the VIN. So if you have a Scion TC, and you want to know if your engine's been replaced, just look for the VIN tag, which is on the side of the engine by where the transmission is. Okay, so if you've just purchased a Scion TC and the owner's manual is not there, you may be wondering what this button that says set here is for. Well, this resets the reading of the tire pressures, I believe. The tire pressure, you just hit that and it would reset it in the gauges, I'm guessing. That's what the owner's manual told me. Also, you have your handbrake. Very firm, actually. Very firm handbrake. You have 3 pedals on the floor, which is not something you see every day in cars sold in America. This thing's actually got 2 sunroofs. You got one in the front, and then one in the back. That's very good. And while we're in the interior, let's talk about the seats. Oh, by the way, I know that the car is full of garbage. You don't have to comment about that. The seats on this car are very nice looking. They are stitched and cool looking. Moving back to the interior, oh wait, we were just in the interior. In the interior of the car over here, we have this lovely door panel, which is sitting over here on the ground. Very nice door panel. You got cup holders. You got 1 cup holder and a storage area in your door panel. Now, right here, we have this fantastic MagnaFlow, I believe that's what it's called, exhaust. And this thing sounds so cool. Take a listen. Unfortunately, the car will not start right now because it doesn't have a battery in it, so. Okay, now that the Scion has a battery in it, let's start it up. A-Series engine, but it's not. It's a Toyota engine. And since we're in the Scion, let's go look at the center controls. So over here are the center controls. There's a weird placement on this Scion. The center controls aren't actually in the car. It's weird. But here they are. We have a digital display, probably for your heater. And here are all your indicators. Passenger airbag on, off. There's your lock thing, probably. It has a key on it. And then we have this hazard switch. Up here we have 2 climate control vents, which you can adjust towards you. Okay, now I think that's about enough stuff I've showed you on the car. Now let's take the car for a drive. Okay. Here we go. Sit on this very nice muffler seat from a Chrysler Voyager, and let's go. It's a very quiet car, this car. Very, very quiet. You could... Oh, I haven't turned it on. There we go. Okay, now, this car is very, very quiet for being a car. And if you rev the engine... Why doesn't it sound like an A-Series anymore? I don't know. But if you rev the engine, it sounds very nice. Now, let's go. Very nice. The clutch pedal... No, the camera. Okay. Sorry about that. The clutch pedal is, well, it's stuck to the floor. There's so much garbage in this car. The clutch pedal is stuck to the floor, but we're going anyway. Turning. The whole steering box is flopping around when I move the indicator. Drives very nicely, actually. You can't even tell that it's driving at all. That's how nice it drives. You just feel like you're sitting in a car. It's a little boring, too. A little boring, actually. It's weird. This controls something. Oh, you can't really see over the steering wheel when you're not on a seat. So, I think that concludes the review of this 2007 Scion TC. Thanks for watching.